So sorry, I got to call you back. My cousin just got shot, and I got to go. Still to this day, I wonder what the hell he was thinking.
Hey, Stella!
Hey everybody, Brian Lally here, Hollywood native. You're about to watch the show, Brian Lally, Hollywood native. I'm sitting here as usual with my partner in crime, Scott Williams. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
I am fantastic. Never been better, thank you. Who do we have on the show today, Scott?
Today, Brian, we have an amazing guest, Daryl Wesley.
Daryl Wesley is an amazing guest, and the story he has is going to blow your mind. Daryl Wesley is from the inner city of Detroit, grew up in a house with 20 people, 16 women, which is why he's a hell of an advocate for women. Daryl played Division I basketball, and his philosophy in life blew me away as a 22-year-old man, which ended up leading him out here to Los Angeles. Daryl was broke, turned down a regular acting gig on the Lakers Showtime show to wait, the job wasn't in yet, to write on The Game, and ended up with the Upshaws. You want to talk about law of attraction or manifesting? He made it happen, and now he just got a job on the Donald Sterling miniseries as Jamal Crawford. So here he is, a former student of mine who has far surpassed the teacher, Daryl Wesley. Daryl's going plant-based.
Are you? 90%, yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to eat something, I'm going to eat it. But for the most part, it's like, 90% plant-based,
Yeah.
You still ball?
I shot around for the first time the other day. It's been a while, though.
Yeah.
I watched the Adam Sandler movie, and it made me want to go play
Gotcha,
basketball.
yeah. I haven't watched it because I know it's going to, I'll be having dreams. I'll be waking up in a sweat.
Yeah. I watched it, and it gave me that itch again. So I'm like, let me just go shoot around a little bit. Yeah.
He retired for a while, and then a wise man told him. What'd he tell you?
Oh, start back playing again.
Because why?
You just told me, and I forgot.
I said it's in your soul,
You
man.
did, yeah, you did.
It's not who you are,
But
it's part of
it is
who you are.
That's a fact.
So he went out to play, and he said some dude kept dunking on him.
I said that. I'm like, I don't remember that.
So you retired again?
No.
No.
I don't remember that.
What he said was, don't nobody dunk on me.
No, I got dunked on once. It was by my cousin. That's it.
Yeah.
Once.
No.
I almost got dunked on pretty bad, though. I think it was a school called Bradley. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say he took off from the free throw line. I was trying to take a charge, and I was just walking back with him, looking up like this, and I'm like, I know he's not about to do this. And luckily, it hit the back of the rim and bounced out, because I would have been number one on ESPN that day. Yeah.
My little pass apartment, I had that 13 feet of concrete, and I had my hoop back there. And anytime you're feeling down, you take 4 shots.
Yeah.
You make 4 shots, and the day changes.
It's very therapeutic.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to start shooting. It's just when I'm out there, I'm shooting, and I'm
It
feeling
always
good,
goes
and then
something else.
someone's like, you trying to run?
You like, damn.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped playing, too, because there's always, one dude out there to start talking, and I'm like...
That's why I quit playing at Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Park down
Yeah.
Hazeltine. That's why I quit playing. That's the dude just kept calling fouls, and I just left. I was like, that's not a foul. He got me. Nobody got you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a culmination of getting to that point where I grew up. You called a foul if you fouled somebody.
Yeah.
And if you didn't make the shot, that was on you.
Yeah.
And most of the guys I played with, and it was in, South L.A. and stuff, it was, they called it, man. I got him.
Yeah.
I got him.
Exactly, yeah.
And then it got to the point where, he got me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You missed a shot. And I just stopped. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't great, but, I just couldn't take that, man.
And your bones got old.
No, that's a fact. Oh, my God. Except I had a guy in here whose dog bit me during the...
During the thing?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, bit me. Put this on my wife's.
Oh! Uh-oh. Did we have a biter?
Yep.
Yep. Were our feet dangling?
Well, yeah, our feet were moving because I sit here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I got bit.
Did you get bit hard?
I
Is
got
there
bit
blood?
pretty hard.
Yeah. Oh, you're right here.
We're sitting here. Yeah, D, so what's going on, man? How's it?
Bites his foot.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
He was
Wasn't
sitting
it
under the table or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole foot.
That's gonna have to be a big chunk though, because you kept calling back to the joke.
Well, it didn't scare you as much as getting bit by a big dog viciously. I don't give a shit. Like I haven't been bit by a dog. Grew up in a fucking city. I got to tell you this much. If I get bit another time,
Yeah,
there could be a
This
problem.
is the new,
Yeah, of course I
the next
did.
30 minutes of us
Yeah.
talking, he's like, yeah, if your dog bites me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good bit. You know, watch out for people bringing their dogs that bite. So, were you born in Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born on the east side of Detroit.
Yeah,
and raised.
east side?
Yeah.
Can't
yeah.
spell east without the...
The what?
Can't spell west without the ES, but I was going, you can't spell east without the ES. East side? I don't want to jump straight to your grandma's house, but I love that picture. She still got the only house on the block. She's still in that house.
She does. She refused to leave. Yeah.
Too much devil's night going on and people burning people's houses.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty vacant over there. But
Yeah.
she's still over there holding it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people leave her alone. She's, you know.
Oh yeah. Nobody bothers. There's too many people in there.
Right.
Nobody
Oh,
bothers.
a lot of
her.
people in the house?
Well, not as many as it used to be. Like, 'cause I think I grew up in a house of like around 20 people, and like 16 were women. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of us in there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's why you're an advocate for women.
Yeah. I grew up with a lot of women.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Raised by a lot of women. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
That's why you grew up kind of soft. That is not true. Man, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. So, you grew up in a rough area.
Mm-hmm.
You grew up in a rough area.
Yeah.
Did you start playing basketball first? Did you start focusing on after-school programs? Or
It's funny. My mama had me in like 3 sports at the one time. Like it was like I didn't even have time to get in trouble. I was just exhausted.
Yeah, because she was smart.
Yeah. So it was like I played baseball first before anything. I was actually better at baseball than football and basketball, but I ended up growing closer to basketball because that's kind of what everybody in the neighborhood was doing, and it was more fast paced. I don't have too many regrets, but not playing baseball. Stopping was one of my only
really?
regrets. Yeah. I went to basketball, and then that's why I played. In high school, I ended up playing football and basketball, and I ran track. But because Detroit had this rule, I don't know where it came from. If you want to play basketball, you have to play football or run cross country before basketball season. I think a lot of kids were like passing out or something, so they want to make sure everybody was in shape. So my first 2 years, I played football, but then I transferred my senior year, and then they didn't have a football team, so I had to run cross country. I hated cross country.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
it.
God.
I hated it.
I could run 10 hours a day playing basketball, and I could not
I
run.
need some type of ball in my hand.
Right.
And I hate running for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like,
That'd been funny if you had a ball you were
yeah, I
running.
know, just like
Like
Holding it with you.
Pistol Pete would ride all around town on his bike, dribbling all the
basketball,
time, dribbling out the car, dribbling in movies. Yeah, you had a ball and you were running cross country. That'd have been great, man.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Yeah.
What position in football?
Receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. Yeah.
I always make the joke that I was an All-American until the wintertime came around. I was trash in the winter.
Oh, man.
I didn't do well in the cold.
Yeah.
I never-
Your hand catching the ball in the
Yeah,
cold.
yeah. It was terrible.
You didn't have gloves back then, right?
We did, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
did you have
Yeah,
gloves?
Yeah. I'm about to say I'm only 34.
Well, I know, but you know,
I know. He said.
that was 18 years ago when you
Yeah.
started, or even longer, almost 20 when you started.
We had gloves.
Yeah,
We had
Man,
gloves.
we did not. No, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I could catch a football. You kidding me
Yeah.
with the gloves they got
Yeah.
nowadays? I would
Yeah.
never have dropped the ball. That's insane. You couldn't use the stickum anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like Lester the Molester Hayes from the Oakland Raiders. I don't know if you know that cat. He played for Oakland. He would have just gobs hanging out of the
Yeah.
stickum. You know, it was a DB. And Fred Biletnikoff, too, who you guys don't know either, another Hall of Famer.
What was it, like a paste?
Yeah, it was. Like, what Dwight Howard get in trouble for? Wasn't he had something on his hands that was getting stuck on the ball? He had some sort of
Dwight
stick
Howard?
on.
Oh, I don't know.
Just last few years. He was putting something on his hands, but it made the ball sticky. You know,
Damn,
so
I
he
did not
didn't lose the
know
ball. He played on an
How does that work for
AAU team.
How does that work for basketball? That don't even make sense.
I mean, Dwight Howard's only move is just
It must have been for rebounds, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Was it an AAU team he owned that you played for? What was it?
yeah. It was the DH Warriors in Orlando, and I was on that team just for a year, but
Dwight Howard owned it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
we weren't nothing special. We were
yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to some of these other like NBA
Uh-huh.
ran
Yeah.
AAU teams, like
Mhm.
they get some crazy people on the teams.
It's a business. That is such a business now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what was your event in track?
I did the 200, the 400, and 800. Yeah.
I
And I
ran.
did high jump.
I
did
high
high
jump.
jump along with
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had jumped, but only when I was 14. I didn't make
Yeah.
6 feet. I made
Yeah.
5'11". I couldn't do the Fosbury flop. That was pretty new when
Yeah.
I was a kid. We were still jumping over dinosaurs.
Fosbury flop.
Fosbury
Yeah.
flop. That's what it's called when you go backwards. A guy named Fosbury created that move because
Okay.
he used to straddle it.
Yeah.
He used to jump and just use your whole body. They show Wilt Chamberlain used to do it, and it was you really straddle. Here's the thing, and you just kind of spin over like that. And then this guy, no, Dwight Stones was another high jumper. There was a guy named Fosbury, and he came up with that going up and over backwards that everybody does.
Yeah.
I grew up in LA and I was really fast. My brother was faster than everybody. My brother outran all the brothers. I outran some of them. But I grew up in LA and I was fast. I went to Catholic school and the CYO. I went to the finals of the CYO, which is a Catholic youth organization in California. And we were down somewhere. There was these guys were twins, black cats they were going to Verbum Day, which was an enormous basketball school in the 70s. And the greatest basketball player ever to come out of Los Angeles, named Raymond Lewis, came out of Verbum Day. He led the country in scoring. And then he went to Philadelphia, and they took World Be Free.
Yeah.
And they kept him instead of Raymond Lewis. And he went back. And it's a story of he didn't have enough support because he was crazy good. And so he always played in the NBA Summer League, and he tore it up. Every year he tore it up, but he never got back to the league. Anyway, so these two cats were in 8th grade, and they were like 6 foot tall. I don't know how old I was when I was 13, how tall I was, And so I was down, it was the finals. And I was racing against these cats, and they had the white T-shirt and the nylon shorts, used to be the thing. And they had horn-rimmed glasses with straps on them. And so I made it to the finals, and I'm up against these cats, and they had the, style. They'd been taught. I was just running. They said, dude, I swear in the 220, they beat me by 100 yards. These cats came out there, and they were just unbelievable. I don't remember now what their last names were, but I thought they were going to end up Olympians or something, but I never heard from them. They left me. I just remember watching them go. I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, some
I'm
people
in the
just had
finals.
it. Yeah.
But,
The priests were catching you.
yeah, the priests were kidding. That's why we ran fast. So, yeah, I played football, basketball, and ran track, So I think that's what everybody did.
Yeah.
I stopped playing baseball out of Little League, man, because I couldn't take that curveball coming at me.
Yeah.
I put my foot in the bucket every time. Well, so,
Yeah. Baseball is just so boring after a while. It's so repetitive.
It is.
Because I was the same way. Like,
Man.
I was raw at baseball, but I was just like, I was pitching and playing first base, but it was still like
Yeah.
snoozing out there.
Man.
Yeah.
It
Basketball was so
it was really slow.
fast paced.
yeah. So I'm glad I called you down here for the podcast so I could do all the talking.
No. I love listening, man. I know it's all good.
So when you were in high school, you got noticed. Did you go straight from high school to Bowling Green?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a scholarship?
I did, yep.
Yeah.
I ended up, it was a tricky situation. I got a weird high school story. I went to like 4 different high schools, but I ended up.
So did I, but it wasn't for good things.
Yeah, I know. I just, so my last year, my 12th grade year, I ended up transferring from Notre Dame to the school called Rogers Academy. I didn't want to go to Notre Dame in the first place, but my mom made me go there because the coach offered me to pay my tuition if I came or whatever. So I went
And your
there.
mom wanted the
She
educational
wanted
aspect.
education,
of it.
and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't care anything
Yeah.
about that. I wanted to play basketball.
Well, I know. That's why you're the son and she's your mother.
Exactly.
That's why she had you in 3 sports because she was not stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So 12th grade, my dad got to say so because I moved in with him, and then as soon as that happened, I got to go to the school that I wanted to, which is Rogers Academy. I really was just trying to be like my older cousin, Ricardo Billings. He was like the best player in the country at that time. He ended up going to Ohio State. And then when I went to Rogers my 12th grade year, I still to this day it's a mystery. Someone told on me because I changed my address so I can be eligible to play at Rogers.
Right.
I just used like an auntie's address or
Right,
something.
sure.
I don't know who did it. We all think it's my last coach at Notre Dame, but they found out, so I had to sit out. The coach called me in the office. It was like a week before the first game too. He called me in the office and said, "I just found out you got to sit out the first half of the season." And this is my 12th grade year. And
Right.
I'm thinking he's joking. I'm like, "Man, stop playing." And he said, "No, I'm serious." And I just cried. Just went in the bathroom, just cried. I'm
Right.
like, this is my 12th grade year. It's my last year or whatever. So I had to sit out half the season. I remember making this little rubber band. I wanted to play so bad, I made a rubber band that had the days until I can actually play. So
Really?
every time a day I go by, I check off a day on a rubber band, and then it finally got down to where I can play. And then it went really good. We won a state championship.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
It was a crazy game. We
Yeah.
were down like 2 with like 3 seconds left or something, and I was already crying. Life lesson: just don't give up until it's over with.
Right.
I was just like in tears, like I can't believe we lost this game. And then one of our freshmen, his name Eric Evans, he was the only one that didn't have his head down. They threw the ball in. They had the ball.
Right.
They threw the ball in. He stole it and just threw it up. Got fouled and won 3, and we won the game.
Damn.
Yeah. Then after that, I got scholarship. I got a few looks, but Bowling Green is the one I chose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that? Or?
It's a couple of reasons. I wasn't ready to go too far away from home, so I got Norfolk State in Virginia. I knew he actually, crazy story. He actually that coach was on me like hard. He was telling me like, if you come here, you'll have a green light instantly. He came to all my games, but one time he called me. He called me, and it was the middle of a shootout at a basketball court I was at. Only time I've ever been in the middle of a shootout. I'm not one of the people that's been like in a whole lot. Middle of a shootout, and we running, and as soon as we stopped, my phone started ringing. I pick up the phone. It's him, the coach, and he's like asking me about the school. I said, "I'm so sorry, I got to call you back. My cousin just got shot, and I got to go." Still to this day, I wonder what the hell he was thinking when when he heard that, when he got that call. But I always wonder what it would have been like if I would have went there. But I'm happy with my decision to go into Bowling Green, though. It was close to home. I was in love at the time. I didn't want to go too far from her because she was in Detroit.
Right.
That's probably what it was, to be honest.
We all done it.
Yeah. It was D1, and it was it ended up working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got them highlights pulled up.
Got him.
Uh-oh. Look at that. Still looking serious. They're looking serious.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, he was on the assist. Oh. I didn't hear him call back.
He definitely
I didn't hear him call.
He definitely didn't. Yeah.
Did y'all make it to the tournament at all?
We made it to the NIT my last year. Yeah,
Nice.
we made it to the NIT. We ended up winning the MAC, but we didn't win the MAC tournament or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's been so long, I forgot what it's called. But yeah, that was a good game. I almost had a triple-double against them.
Did you?
Losing at the end, yeah.
You messed around, got a triple-double?
Almost, yeah.
Something about a left-handed shot that,
Oh, yeah.
I know. I used to always think it's going to go in.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
one of my favorite players growing
Chris-
up was
Chris Mullin?
Ginobili.
Oh.
yeah.
He was just so smooth and
Just so
did
smooth, man.
unorthodox things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
This is
man.
the NIT game right here, actually.
Okay.
This is my last game. When I tell you I was just pulling, I don't care where I was on the court. It was luckily it was
Hey.
going in though.
Yeah, I miss balling. I just need to go shoot, like you
Man,
were saying.
yeah, but you right though. Once you start shooting around, it's gonna turn to 1-on-1. Then it's gonna turn to
Yeah.
something.
My jump shot is now a tiptoe shot. The crazy thing about nowadays how they shoot is we all back then had to jump so high on our jump shots. I mean, Russell Westbrook does that. Can't make it for shit. But he does that. But these cats like Curry, Trey Young, these young dudes that just shoot from down lower. But they're just open all day. They get
Yeah.
open and they shoot open shots. I never thought about shooting open shots. I thought there was always going to be someone on me. And I'm not taking Curry is unbelievable, man.
He is.
But, you know, he shoots it from here. Well, I could have shot a lot farther
Yeah.
if I shot it from there.
Yeah, Curry
So-
be having like the whole damn team on him and still
Yeah.
somehow hit it.
Yeah. No, he's unbelievable. You see those warm-up stuff when he shoots from the stairs
it's crazy.
and stuff?
It's unbelievable.
Or he does those 7 shots from different spaces, then he throws one underhand. Yeah, he's
Luca too. For
yeah,
how young he is, he's about to be crazy.
yeah. Yeah, those step back threes,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and Luke is just so smooth at that, but Harden, Harden might not want me to say that Raymond Lewis is the best player to come out of LA. And Kevin Durant is a jump shooter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about Kevin Durant. I don't know if you've ever seen the highlights from the Drew League. The Drew League they have
I
here.
saw it a while ago. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant came to play at the Drew League at Drew Junior High. And, it was a famous league. Everybody came down after a while. But Kevin Durant came to play. And if you ever see the highlights of him shooting at the Drew League, he didn't come to play. He came to win.
I love seeing NBA players in those type of situations.
Yeah.
It lets you know how great they are.
Yeah.
Cause we got this place called Saint Cecilia in Detroit. It's like just a famous gym or whatever. And Jalen Rose pretty much he pretty made it what it was.
Right.
It could be the player that's not even in uniform come in the gym and don't miss.
Right.
Don't miss.
Right.
And it's it lets you know what type of how
Right.
great you have to be to make to the NBA.
When I was 18 or 19, I was probably in the best shape of my life. I was playing all the time, all over town in different gyms and stuff. I was playing 6-7 days a week. And we were playing one time, and there was a cat there, and I don't remember his name, but he supposedly played, I think he did play for the Rockets back in the 70s. And I was on that dude every step of the way. I was just doing everything and he was, I was like, rah! And he was like, and he would just stand on the sideline.
Yeah.
And I'd be up on him, and he'd hold the ball up. He was only about 6'1" or 2. I was 5'11", and
Man, Brian. You know what I love doing?
yeah.
I love tapping that subscribe button.
I love it too, son. And just like all your dates, I tap it last. But nothing's as good as tapping this button.
You see Brian here? He's not always doing the best. Financially, mentally, physically, for sure. You want to help keep Brian off the streets of Hollywood? There's a way you can help. Join us on Patreon. You want to tell them what we got on there, buddy?
Yes, we have the general admission, we have the backstage, and we have the VIP all-access pass. So please join today. I'm due for a bath.
In the arms of the angel, always of you.
He was just, he wasn't mean. He had his kid there with him. He just came out and go exercise.
Man.
It doesn't matter what I did. I wasn't close to ever slowing him
There's
down.
some dudes you just know. It's just some dudes you know. They
Yeah.
just different. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is about you trying really hard and they barely trying.
Yeah.
It's
They're chilling.
I always knew when I played against a league dude. I'm like, yeah, he's different. Yeah.
My high school coach played with Vince Carter in high school, so
Damn.
Vince would come into our high school practices and run with us sometimes. And I remember that this one kid on our team was like playing some go hard defense against Vince Carter.
Yeah.
And he embarrassed the shit out of him. Vince goes down baseline and he takes it around his own back and around. My boy was like riding up in Vince's shit, and he goes around his back.
Damn.
And then just pulls from the corner like it was like nothing.
It's just they different, man.
Yeah.
They are different.
Yeah. Well, the strength, when Jerry West and Walt Frazier, the 2 or 3 years the Lakers and the Knicks played in the finals. Now, those are two perennial all defensive guys, perennial all-stars, Hall of Famers. Well, when they were shooting from behind the half-court line, they were pushing it. They were pushing it.
Yeah.
And now Dwight Howard, LeBron, there's guys that are out there just shooting it.
Yeah. It's different, man.
I'm talking about guys back then, 6'3", 6'4", hard-nosed players had to push it. And these cats now, They're shooting jump shots from 40.
The European game, I think, really changed the game with
It did.
how we are
It
now.
did, yeah.
Like big men just having to be able to do the same thing
Yeah.
that guards are doing.
Yeah.
I went to see some like D2 colleges in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina. I was like, I'm going to play football.
You got your shorts baggy enough? You thought you're on
This
Michigan?
is
Is that what you
Mainland,
thought?
where-
man?
Hey.
This is where Vince played.
Yeah. 3 ball.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
decent.
It does make you miss it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit. Hesitation. Hesitation kills. Is that you on D?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh. He didn't take off at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Got the arrow on you.
There's a swat of this shit right here.
Oh,
Damn. Yeah, you
Get
got
that
one
weak
good.
shit out of here. Face.
I haven't watched this in a minute.
You what?
I haven't watched this in a
Oh,
minute.
don't lie.
My
M said you were watching the car on the way out.
yeah. My grandpa, every like time I see him, he's like, I was just watching your highlight tape.
There is a highlight tape of me somewhere. Well, just one game. There was a guy going to UCLA when John Wooden was still there, and they were playing
Yeah.
varsity. I was playing junior varsity. Everybody had to get there, and everybody was set up during the junior varsity game because there was people hanging out of the rafters. You know, they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
standing and all over. This guy, name was Galvan Smith. He was unbelievable. He was a white cat. He was 6'4", had like a 38-inch vertical. And he played at the same time as Marcus Johnson. And I bet everybody that he was going to go farther than Marcus Johnson because he could shoot from anywhere. He could jump out of the Started smoking weed, rather surf, you know, transferred to University of Hawaii. Yeah. Yeah. And then Marcus Johnson, the Hall of Fame, and he was definitely an all-star. Yeah.
Did you ever go play at Disney tournaments at all for
I did.
AAU
not
or anything?
Disney. No.
Okay, yeah. We were always there. Like
Honestly-
the Wide World of Sports would
Okay.
always have.
Honestly, AAU is such a blur. We've traveled so many places, and like I don't remember half them damn places. So it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember Disney though, but
I liked the AAU. It was good, like staying in hotels with the boys and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never got to play at AU.
I played once because I was always playing football and baseball.
Now, I gave up football and just concentrated on basketball. All the coaches fuck with me playing football because my brother was the big star. They're like, Lally, what are you playing football for before? Because your brother's like, shut up.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of games for cussing out refs. Ref was like, first game I ever played, the ref was like, you better watch your mouth. I was like, fuck you.
That's about it.
That didn't go over well.
Yeah.
That's
At
it.
Catholic
All right.
school?
Yeah, it was Catholic school.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, crazy. So, did you start acting in college or?
Oh no, I started acting like after college. I had 2 years of what I like to call the Great Depression.
After college?
Yeah, because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do with my life.
You get any offers to play Europe or anything?
I
or-
got a couple, but I had this feeling that my time with basketball was up.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to go. And I was seeing how people would go, and then they have to come back and figure out their life. I'm like, let me just figure out my life right now. So I went through 2 years.
You didn't want to prolong the Great Depression.
I didn't. It was tough. I literally like stayed in the house for like 2 years. I was the girl I was with at the time who ended up coming to school with me. She was she always knew she wanted to be a lawyer, and it was cool when you was the boyfriend who was on the basketball team, but it wasn't cool no more when you was the boyfriend who didn't know what the hell he wanted to do. So I found myself like just trying everything. I'm like just to keep her quiet. Like all right, I'm trying to be a firefighter today. I remember my cousin said I asked him something like, "How do you become a lawyer?" He like, "What?" like what? You know, what the hell are you doing with your like? So I was literally just trying to do everything to keep her quiet till I could figure out what I wanted to do. And my cousin Byron, who lives here now, I pretty much follow him everywhere. He just randomly called me like, "Man, why don't you come out here and act?" And I'm like, "Act? Hell no! Don't nobody in Detroit act. Like, what it's like? That ain't even like no." And then my college coach and his wife, who I they always give me credit for why they got together because I was in her office so much, and he was like my coach assigned to me. So he was at her office so much they ended up like getting together. He was coaching at Fort Myers, Florida, and they just said, "Come stay with us until you figure out some stuff." And then I went to go live with them for like a year. I somehow did a fitness show. It was a thing in Florida. I tried it, and then I don't know what that did, but that kind of got my confidence back up a little bit. Moved back to Detroit. And then I was still a little lost, but I always credit the movie The Karate Kid. Not the original, the Jaden Smith version. I was in a movie theater, and I just saw everybody in there clapping. And I don't know what the hell came across me. I just started looking around like I didn't know movies can make people feel like that. So it kind of gave me the same feeling that like sports gave me. And then I'm like, all right, maybe it is something to this acting thing. And I was like, let me go at least try one class out before I just up and move. So I tried a class out, really liked it. I ended up reading The Alchemist, and I think I bought my ticket like a week later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just called and told him I'm coming. He like, come in where? I'm like, you said I can come to California. He like, let me check with my roommate first. I ain't think.
Hold on a second,
Yeah,
man.
'cause not-
I didn't think you were going to do it.
Exactly. He said, I didn't think he was actually coming. So
You got a job, you got money.
Exactly. It happened that quick, and I've been out here ever since. So, yeah.
What was your degree leaving Bowling Green?
It was communications. But
Okay.
honestly, it was crazy. I asked them in the academic office, I said, what degree doesn't involve math or science?
Mhm.
And they said communications. I said, I'd take that one.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's how it is with like I was at
Yeah.
UCF and it was like sports and exercise science was
Yeah.
like what every athlete did.
Yeah. So, yep, that's what I ended up
Nice.
going to school for.
Was Playhouse the first school you went to out here?
Out here,
Yeah.
yep. That was actually the only school I went to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you sat next to some crazy old dude. Every time the lights went out, he kept going, cha-cha-cha. And you were like, what's wrong with this old white dude? So,
Yeah.
and then somehow,
Mhm.
we became friendly and working together. And
Yeah. Still don't know how it happened, but
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably I was teaching rehearsal class.
You were teaching rehearsals.
Yeah.
I remember I was in rehearsals a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
I
how-
like OD'd on on Playhouse.
Yeah. And then you asked me to do that short film.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it
Yep.
with that subject matter.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might have been the first one I was thinking about writing. I never wrote it. I did write it. I never shot it. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You asked me if I'd play that racist
Yep,
character.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I said, I'll say them
Yeah,
words
yeah.
if you want me to. But and we had a discussion about what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
And then it never,
Yeah.
I asked you if that was your life. You said, no, it wasn't my life, but
Yeah.
I know the experience in it. So,
Yeah.
So,
Kind of
Yeah.
glad we didn't do that one.
huh? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it works out how it,
I felt like then I was like trying to just do something, and nothing good comes from just trying to like.
No, it doesn't.
Trying
But-
to do something just to do it. Because I feel like that was when I think the Playhouse Film Festival had happened.
Yeah.
And I got inspired, and I wanted to like make sure I was in there next time.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, what idea can I come up with?
right.
And that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know
Mm.
the philosophy, you find out what you don't want.
Yeah.
But you got to try something. And
You
that's
do,
something you've done.
Yeah.
And you've grown leaps and bounds since
Yeah,
that
so-
time, young man. No, I mean it. I
Yeah,
mean, as
thank you,
as
thank
a
you.
man and
Thank you.
as a writer and
Thank
performer, and the play you wrote, the plays you've written have been unbelievable. We should have.
Thank you.
You should give me some clips of that when we put this up, but we can put that in there because those things drove
Yeah.
people crazy,
Oh,
man.
thank you,
It was
man.
fun.
I
You know
appreciate
that.
it.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to get them audience reactions because that was.
Yeah. It's still kind of crazy. Started off in a shared theater with like 20 seats or something, and now this next one like 90 seats. It just keep going up
Dang.
more and more each time. So,
Right.
So
Crazy.
the acting led you to writing, or were you always
No,
somewhat of a writer?
I guess I was. I used to like write a lot of poetry, but it was more so of a therapy thing than anything. But no, writing wasn't even in the picture. I do think acting led me out here to find writing. That's how I always feel. But the writing came from I just got to sit. I'm like, so wait, you got to sit and wait on people to give you jobs? Like I don't,
Yeah.
that don't sit well with me. So a friend Arya, he wrote a play. And I saw, I'm like, well, shit, if Arya can write a play, I can write a play. So I'm like, I credit Arya for a lot of stuff because he wrote a short film, put it up, I'm like, shit, if I can do a short film, I can do a short film. So
Where's he at now?
he's still here.
He's
actually, yeah. I was just with him. We actually working on something right now.
I wanted to talk to him about his time in London. He
You
went
should.
back there
All
and
right,
stayed.
yeah. He went there to act for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, he's one of them people. If he say he gonna do something, he do it.
Yeah.
I respect that so much about him. But yeah, Playhouse used to have us like write in our journals, and I just coming from East Side of Detroit. I'm like, I ain't writing no damn journal.
I thought the same thing
So,
about poetry.
Yeah. No, I know.
What are you
But
writing there, Daryl?
Poetry was more so I got in trouble for it writing to like whoever I was dating at the time.
Right.
But
Yeah, in Detroit, they'll ask you, what are you writing there, Daryl? And
Exactly.
you're like, that's my hit list. It's my hit list.
But yeah, so instead of writing the journal, I started like writing out in a scene form of like whatever I was going through, and then that kind of like went to the plays and stuff like that. So it was like a gradual build up type of situation. Yeah. So
Nice.
yep.
Yeah.
I also couldn't relate to any of the players I was reading, so I was I was like,
Need some shit you can relate to.
yeah. I said, wait, what the hell? And so I'm like, let me start writing my own plays that I can like from my experiences and like stuff like that. So yeah.
I was watching Old School the night before last.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's that line. What was it? Come on, Blue.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got-
Is you my boy Blue?
You're my boy, Blue. So
I love that line.
Dale wrote this short film. A couple of great actresses, Karen Oberlin and KJ Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the scene when it was the first place I really put on the Gramps character
Uh-huh.
with the walker in the same shirt, the same pants I wear in all the skits. And yeah, it's the first place. And then we got the glasses, the ophthalmologist glasses, and a hat. And the funny, you were directing, so you don't know. I came out on the street for that with those glasses on, and I looked at Byron, and we laughed for 5 minutes. It might have been 10. It might have been 10 minutes. We just every time he looked up at me, and I just went with it. We couldn't stop laughing just because of the glass. You know, the Gramps glass is just funny. This is how many? 5 years ago? Is this
That
more?
was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just too funny. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then screaming that at me. What's the line? That's my boy Blue. What is it?
You're my boy Blue.
You're my boy Blue. You're my boy
Yeah,
Blue.
like a full blown roasting session
Yeah,
with like him, KJ,
yeah.
Karen, and just like
Yeah, and they just got out of the car and started bagging on me because I was had my walker and I was too slow to get out of the road. But it was,
Oh, that's where you snap back on them?
yeah,
Yeah, I think I think you showed me that a while ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which and one of them had no idea that I could do that.
Yeah,
Karen,
yeah.
she was like, so. Yeah, and the people behind the camera were falling out. They were
I
like,
was cracking
"What?"
up. Yeah.
but that was a good time. Yeah, and then you made that other film. That was a good film. Made me
Oh,
cry.
thank
Don't
you,
make me
thank
do
you,
that
thank
again, man. Do not make me do
Thank
that
you,
again.
Thank you. Yeah,
You
that
know,
was a little deeper.
Yeah, it was, man. I never felt like I fit in. You know, I went to all these different schools. I went to 7 or 8 different schools growing
Yeah.
up. And, you know, to see those two children, oh, man, don't do it here. To see that little girl who doesn't think she looks right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just-
That one was like, I wrote a film, I called it Black Excellence, but it was more so, I was curious about how, like, what's the difference between, like, a family who sit at the dinner table and eat together and a family who don't sit at the table.
Sure.
And, like, a family who don't, like, you miss out on a lot of what's going on, like, in your kid's life. So I wanted to make it to where somebody was going through something different in every single room.
Right.
So all the kids were just going through something. The mother was going through something. The dad was going through something. But since they never like sit down and talk with each other, nobody knows that these people are
Right.
going through anything. So yeah, that one was a little deeper than a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can send it to you.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was very moving. So, one of the reasons I wanted David here with you, because, you know, I follow you on social media and, you know, we text and talk, but, you know, all the pictures you post sitting at a computer,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
at it
yeah,
again, or however you
yeah,
termed it, you know,
yeah.
back at it, or,
Uh-huh.
and you're at the computer and you're just writing,
Yeah.
and you're just writing,
Yeah.
and you're just writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a job on the Lakers show as an actor, Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you turned that down
I
because
did.
you were,
Because I was writing.
that's right.
That one. People always say when it rains it pours in like a negative way, but that was the time when it rains it pours and all these opportunities came at me at once. So it was like nothing was happening, and then it's like I got put on hold for the Lakers.
Showtime?
Showtime. I
Yeah.
got put on hold for Showtime, and I got put on hold for Mayor of Kingston.
Oh,
and they both wanted me, and
Right.
my manager, thank God for him. Because I was waiting on the game. They did the game is a TV show, it's an older football show, and they bought it back. That was gonna be the writing job. So I was waiting on that show for like a year. COVID happened, so I was waiting some more, and then I had the interview with the showrunner, and it went really good. And I had to wait. They said it was between me and somebody else. And I'm sitting here waiting for all these jobs at one time, and then I found that the Showtime and Mayor of Kingston wanted me. So I'm trying to stall my manager. And I said it with confidence too. I told my manager, I'm like, you know what? I didn't wait it. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be for the game. So let me get the 2 acting jobs. I do those 2. And he took a deep breath and he was like,
You've been watching Brian Lally, Hollywood Native. Now I want to talk to you about something I'm really passionate about, and that's teaching acting. So I co-founded LOLAS Acting School with my son, Kyle Lally, Lally Acting School. I've been acting for a long time now. I have 100 plus credits on IMDb, hundreds of plays I've been involved with over the years, and I just want to share that experience with you.
What we do differently here at LOLAS is we give you practical advice that you can use on a movie set, on a play, an audition, anywhere. We give you the foundation to build yourself as a great actor.
If you come to us, you don't know anything, we can teach you everything you need to know to be comfortable on a set and to excel. Don't just listen to me. Look at what our students are doing. Darryl Wesley, who is writing on 2 hit shows, The Game and The Upshaws, and Ben Barrett, who is a series regular on The Politician, Megan Davis, who is playing Amber Heard in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard story. Come check us out. We're at the Historic Art Theater in the NoHo Arts District. You ever want to try plant-based eating?
I have.
What, you're a little confused, overwhelmed, you don't know how to get started?
Definitely.
Well, there's a simple answer to that. Go to Debbie Chew's Chew On Vegan YouTube channel. Debbie Chew is a plant-based RN. I've known Debbie for over 38 years, and she's very good at what she does. You go to the channel, and there's over 300 recipes. They're simple, easy to make, and they're delicious. If you want to try it, you just might get healthy. Give it a shot. Chew On Vegan.
he said, I'll never forget this. He said, and this is my acting manager, so he doesn't make anything off writing. He was like, one of these jobs is a good job, and one of these jobs is a great job. And he said, I'm not about to let you turn down this great job for this good job. And he said, so I'm going to stall him for as long as I can until you know for a fact that you either got the right job or you don't got it. So if he didn't do that, I would have rushed into the acting jobs or whatever and been on a whole different trajectory, I guess. But we waited. I ended up booking the game. And then he told me, he said, I've never been more happy to like not make money. So yeah, he just took a dope ass dude. So it's like,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I did season 1 of the game, and then I got very like lucky. I just remember being in the writer's room, and they was like telling us how like, yeah, y'all, save up your money because the second job is hard to get as the first. And I just remember, call it stubborn or whatever. I just remember telling myself like, I don't receive that. So
Right.
like, and then I booked the second job, the Upshaws, before I even ended the game job. So I went to the Upshaws, and then I didn't even end the Upshaws. I had to leave them early to go back to the game season 2. So it's like I've been grateful that I'm working nonstop for like the past like year and a half, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So
We were talking on the way out here about Wanda Sykes.
Wanda is actually on the Upshaws.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that. I just switched
Okay, I see what
midstream.
you- okay.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on in here. You just heard what I really said.
Yeah.
So I was there because we were talking about Wanda Sykes being there in the writing room, and she's legendarily funny.
Absolutely.
So I got a friend who was a showrunner on our show, but he also worked for Norm Macdonald, where he had his own show, and he said Norm taught him how to write comedy.
Mm-hmm.
He said that's how he started.
Yeah.
What do you think about getting out of something like the Upshaws and being with someone who's been on top of comedy for 20, 25 years, whatever? She's been up there.
Wanda is amazing. I remember when I first got there, first of all, I thought I was about to lose my job. Because when I tell you the first couple of days, we started on Zoom. and they had already worked together before. All of them had worked together before, and I was one of the new ones. They ended up hiring like 3 new staff writers, so they already knew each other chemistry. And when I tell you, they were so fast, like with the jokes, and I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know how the hell I'm about to keep up with this room, but Wanda, even when she see me about to speak, and I just say I do like this, like I never. And Wanda to be like, no, what you about to say, Daryl? Like she always made sure, like if I got cut off, she'll like say, no,
Pull it out of you.
yeah, Daryl, what you about to say? So I'm so grateful for her for that. But the main thing I learned from Wanda is this woman is her work ethic is crazy. Like she would like be working with us 1 minute, fly over to France the next minute, land in France, get back on Zoom. And then Regina Hicks, the other phenomenal showrunner, she was like, Wanda, you don't have to be here with us. Just like get some rest. And Wanda like, no, I'm good. And it's like I found myself being tired. I'm like, I don't have an excuse to be tired. Like so Wanda, like for her to be at the top of her game and all the success and she still has that work ethic, it's like it's crazy. Like just being able to be in the room with her and seeing it like firsthand, it just taught me a lot. It just rubbed off on me.
So your dad had a few of his own businesses, right?
Yeah.
Did you get that work ethic? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this first. So playing basketball, were you motivated to practice and play all the time?
I was, yeah.
I mean, because I talk to a lot of people when I teach, and you were there when I taught, about if you transfer over, and we might have had this conversation, if you transfer over the amount of hours you practice basketball to acting, you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it, in my opinion. So did you realize that, or did you just start working at it?
I did, but I kind of like went even further with like acting and writing because even with basketball, it's like as a kid you think you're getting away with like say like you running suicides, you think you're getting away with missing a line so you can make it faster. You're not getting away with it. It's just it all adds up and like if I would have hit all them lines, I could have been even better.
Right.
So when it comes to like writing or whatever, I'm like everything that I didn't do in sports, I still worked hard. Like people was out clubbing or whatever. I didn't like going to parties, so I be in the gym or whatever. So I did bring that over here. But it's like all the shortcuts I took, all of the regrets I had of like the biggest regret I had with basketball is that I wanted to be more like Magic and less like Michael. I wanted to pass. But my dad was like known for shooting all the time.
Right.
So I always get stuff like you ain't nothing like your dad. So it's like I thought I had to shoot all the time. But if I could go back, I got more off on like passing than scoring.
Me too.
Yeah, but I wanted to, shut people up. Like I can score too. So that was my biggest regret. So what I bought over here is that is not taking those shortcuts and also playing my game. If it's not gonna work out, it's not gonna work out because I did it my way, not because I'm not gonna have regrets trying to like do what somebody else wanted me to do.
So what I started to say was, I know your father, when talking to you, owns several businesses. Is he a self-starter? I mean, he seems to be.
He is. I get a lot from my dad, man. I feel like I don't know if I ever said this out loud. I have the perfect balance. My mom is the super safe one and will stay at a job forever. And my dad is like the super entrepreneur who's like, I ain't working for nobody. I'm getting it hot.
Taking risks.
Yeah. So I have like the perfect balance of both of them. Because even with me, it's like I did get the whole that from my dad of like, I'm not waiting for nobody. I'm just not sitting around. I'm gonna do it my way. It gets me in a lot of trouble sometimes, but it's like I don't mind like jumping and like let the net appear on the way down. I guess if you want to call it. I get that from my dad. Just not being afraid to just try. Like if it don't work out, who cares? But at least I know now that it didn't work out instead of always thinking about what if. So yeah.
And your grandmother was your mother's mother?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what was her influence?
Her influence is like taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
Like my grandma had that open door policy. Like everybody always knew if you was going through something, you can come on Grandy. Or you can call Grandy or whatever. If people say what kind of career I want, I always say my version, of course, but like a mixture of like Keenan Wayans and Adam Sandler. And the reason I say that is because I love how I don't know the backstory, but I don't even want to mess up my fantasy of it. So I kind of don't want to know the backstory. But like how they like put all their friends on. How Keenan is known for like revealing all these stars. They were already stars, but he just gave them a platform to like do it or whatever. And that's like the main thing that I want to do. That's why I do these plays, to put people in position like who's not normally seen, to just showcase what they really can do.
Like
So,
Alicia.
yeah.
She killed it in that
She
show,
did,
man.
she did. And it's like I'm
I
gonna keep putting her in stuff until
yeah.
somebody realized like she's good.
I
So,
saw
yeah,
her. Well,
yeah.
you know, I taught her too. I saw her when she was a youngster,
Yeah,
and to watch her grow, she was really, really good
yeah,
in the play.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's having a baby in October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, I didn't have nothing to do with it.
I hope not. Yeah, no, but it's like
right.
just to let you know how much time.
Well,
it
that
went
was kind of
past.
accusatory when you said that.
I'm just happy for her. Like she's doing really good right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like a great family that you were able to stay with your mom and your dad and your grandma. You had a
Yeah.
place to go, and
Yeah.
you're a confident man. So, what are your goals now, or where do you see yourself going? It doesn't have to be a goal, but you can have them.
Oh, I got a whole lot of goals.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean to pigeonhole you like.
No, it's all good.
Where artistically, where?
I'm treating these writers' rooms like paid school. I'm just like learning as much as I can from them. But I know at the end of the day, my goal is to have my own projects, my own production company, and do my own stuff. So I'm really taking the time to like learn as much as I can from this process. But the goal is to do my own projects, and like same thing with the plays, putting people in position to like really showcase their talent. Like even with the short film, my friend Javicia Leslie, she wanted to direct, so I said, "All right, direct this then." So and she
Right.
did an amazing job at
Right.
directing it.
What is she now?
Oh, she Batwoman.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure it wasn't just one of your friends you found outside your
no.
door that she is
No,
she is
she's,
Batwoman
yeah,
who's
she
directing
is.
you. She got it while you were doing that, right?
She did,
Yeah.
right
So
after she said she gonna do it, she booked Batwoman.
it's like when Jerry Seinfeld on Comedians in Cars, he had Trevor Noah on. He goes,
Uh-huh.
"I want you to know I had him on before he got the Daily Show," and Trevor Noah's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, that's right."
Yeah.
So you didn't know she was going to be Batman, or did you?
I didn't.
Or did you?
I didn't. You know what's crazy with her? You just never know. Like your tribe out here is so important, man. Like that's like I don't even know if I would have made it that far out here, or not. I don't even want to say that far. I wouldn't have. I don't know if I would have still be out here, to be honest, because she taught me this trick. We really big on like manifesting and like
Sure.
really speaking, being intentional and speaking what we want into existence. And she would leave bottles of champagne in her refrigerator. And I'm like, you don't even like champagne. But she was like, I'm like, why you leaving these in here? She said, because I'm going to be celebrating something soon. I'm like, you booked something? She said, I'm about to.
Yeah.
Nothing was even there, but she said those are there for when I'm
Right.
about to book this job.
Right.
And I'm like, well, shit. I'm one of those people. If I see something working for somebody else, I'm like, well, shit, let me try.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
started putting bottles of champagne in my refrigerator.
Right.
It's like, yeah. So I'm already saying we about to have something to celebrate. So yeah.
Yeah. And so you have a network of people, which is really important to your tribe.
Yeah.
And you know, you're always getting for get-togethers and
Yeah,
weekends away, but you
yeah.
got some really strong artists in there.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, it's funny because the women kind of took off before the men, and all the men was looking around, just like, all right, y'all, we gotta get our shit together. Like the women, and because the women they still like they're doing very well, but like,
Right.
it's all kind of like it happened around the same time, which is like a beautiful thing, and it's like they teaching me so much of like. The beautiful part about your friends making it before you, they can teach you a lot of things to skip over.
Right.
So I kind of like a lot of mistakes that they made, I don't have
Right.
to make because they telling me about it. So it's like,
But for
Yeah.
for young people to understand that
Yeah.
and not having to make the mistake because
yeah.
because they want to do something,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
for an ego thing.
Yep,
No, that
yeah.
didn't work for you, but it's going to work
It's
for me.
exactly.
So,
So it's like,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm yeah.
So you were working with Karen. I think you guys were helping each other on auditions and stuff when she was in that ABC showcase, right?
Yeah.
And so she was on the show. Forget the name, with Nipsey Hussle's fiance.
Games
or
People Play.
Games People Play. And now she's got a new show. And you told me
Yeah.
back then, you said, Brian, you didn't even understand. She's better than anybody.
She's one of the like, cause we were dating at the time.
Right.
We're still like close friends. Like I tell her to this day, Karen is one of the best actors I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
'Cause I got to witness it in auditions and stuff.
Right.
She had just signed with the new agency or whatever, and she got an audition. We were like, she'd say like, I finally got some free time. Let's go do something. Audition just came in. All right, as soon as she go print up them papers, another audition come in. get 5 auditions in like one day. Me, I'm one of them people, I obsess. So I'm like, if I got an audition, I gotta focus all the way on this one audition. I don't know if I got 5 at a time, my brain would just like go crazy. But I would see how she'll literally go in the room, come out as one person, go back in the room, come out as another person, go in the room. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like from drama to comedy, and it was just effortless almost.
Right.
It was effortless. Yeah, she's one of the best actors I know, to be honest. Yeah.
Karen Oberlin, right?
Oberlin. Yeah.
Okay.
Her sister is like right up there with her.
I was
to
just
be
gonna
honest.
ask you about it.
Yeah. Her sister Jessica Oberlin, like she's just as good. I always tell Jessica because Jessica is like the one who hasn't, like one of the only ones in the group who hasn't had like the big breakout yet. So,
Right.
but we constantly remind her that it's like, well, they were telling the story about DMX and the Rough Riders. DMX was like the last one in the Rough Riders to get big or whatever,
Right.
but he's the biggest. And I always remind Jessica, like, that's you.
Right.
Like, you're the last one to make it because yours is going to be so much more special or whatever. And I believe that about her. Like, she just, we get so used to, like, coming out here and wanting to, like, do TV shows because that's the new thing now, to, like, you know, book a TV job, get this consistent money in. But I think Jessica is like I just think she's just a movie star, to be honest. And I think it's taking longer because it's going to be a specific job for her. And, which is another lesson I've learned out here. That when you don't get the job, it's for a reason. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's for a reason,
Yeah.
and you don't know it until later. And like once you finally get the job that's for you, you like that's why none of those other jobs worked out.
25
yeah.
years ago, I was up for this shitty movie, is what it turned out to be. That filmed in Arizona. It didn't pay.
Yeah.
For me, it was going to be a big deal.
Uh-huh.
Now, I used to be a nutcase.
Uh-huh.
You don't know me as a nutcase, but I ran into the producer and director. I didn't get the gig. I ran into him at Jerry's Famous Deli. I started cussing him out right in the restaurant. I was like, you motherfuckers. Dude. So I used to do that stuff. I wonder why I didn't get famous faster. So they went and did this movie. It was horrible. It was really fucking shit. I'm not saying who it was. I'm not saying it was horrible.
Yeah.
While they were off doing that movie, I got the Lost World Jurassic Park. I spent the day with Steven Spielberg. Jeff Goldblum got me the audition. I got the gig. Jeff was eating with Spielberg. I sat next to Spielberg during lunch, and I talked to him for an hour. I didn't let him put food in. What about this? What about that? Nicest man in the world. Answered every question. I can't tell you. I was cussing people out because I didn't get that job.
Damn.
There's 100 things like that.
Yeah, it is.
But
it is.
you never know why.
That's a fact. One of the coolest stories I've ever heard, and it literally give me chills every time I talk about it. A friend, Kalila Joy, she ended up booking this really big episode of Grey's Anatomy. It was like a huge episode where like something happened to her in her relationship, so they didn't want any men doctors there. So it was like all women in the hallway. All the women came out to support her. It was a huge Grey's Anatomy episode, but she booked it. And then Debbie Allen was in the interview, and Debbie Allen said, we just kept getting this girl, she coming to the auditions, and she'd kill a role, but he's like, no, that's not it. She'd kill a role, no, that's not it. And come to find out, I think it's just such a great lesson for everybody out here. It's just like, Debbie Allen said it wasn't that she wasn't good enough, she was too good for those roles. So we wanted to wait, we got the perfect role for her. So it's like a lot of people get turned down so much out here. They think they're not good enough. Sometimes you're too good. And it's like, I know you don't want to hear that because you still need money. But it's like, to hear Debbie Allen say that about her was like one of the dopest things I've heard.
When I auditioned for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I auditioned 6 times. And they're like, we're going to get you on this. I don't think I got turned down because I was too good.
Yeah.
But there was one episode I really wanted, and I didn't get it. And I would have worked with 2 of the actors. So the episode I worked with everybody.
Yeah.
Worked with Danny DeVito, worked with the guys, worked with Caitlin Olsen. I worked with everybody. And it was just a great episode to hang out with the guys and be on. And I got to talk to Charlie about the episode I missed. And I had to read that episode with someone 25 times, the one I didn't get, to stop laughing. And these guys go into the police station, and the cops they go, why are you here? Oh, we want to get this guy, he raped us. And the cop's like, he raped you?
Yeah.
Both of you? And he goes, well, yeah, my friend, I was able to wiggle away before penetration. Anyway, so it was like this, and it was crazy funny. I talked to Charlie about it, and he goes, hey, you look at that. That's not a good Charlie day. He said, you look at me, I can't stop laughing. He said, I felt bad for I can't stop. And he said, we finally had to just shoot it with me laughing. So you watch the episode
Yeah.
and you see me go forward like this, and then you see my shoulders. Because he couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun to talk to these guys. And they came up to me and they said, hey, thanks for coming out with us today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got to meet everybody. I wanted all the other episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how did you meet KJ Smith?
At the workout park, we all work out at.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my friend Shakim, he also goes by Jake Bodyweight. He teaches his class at Van Nuys Park. It's like an amazing trainer. We call him our sensei.
Yeah.
Because he just
I see the videos.
Yeah. Jake is just like, yeah, that's an amazing dude, man. He's my brother at this point. Javicia and Karen kept trying to get me to come work out at the park. And I'm like, I just want to people I don't really like big groups, especially people I don't know. So I'm like, nah, I'm all right. I just keep going to the gym. They kept asking. One time I was at LA Fitness and I was like just sitting there bored as hell in the gym. I clicked on, let me just go to the park. And I went to the park and everybody was there. Like we just kind of, it went from like working out together to KJ just like, it was just one moment. We barely even knew each other, but she didn't want to go home for Thanksgiving for personal reasons. And everybody that was up there, she said, you want to go to Big Bear for Thanksgiving? You want to go to Big Bear? You want to go to Big Bear? And we all went to Big Bear for this Friendsgiving trip, and then we've been having those every year for like the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
And we all kind of got close like that. So yeah, so now she's like one of my closest friends.
And out of your group there, your tribe, is that going to be the core of your production company, do you think?
They're gonna be in it.
Right.
Yeah, some of them are gonna be like Javicia, well, directing. Karen has a big part to do with this next play/scene that we're doing, Shits and Giggles, because at first I originally wrote the scenes, but she went in there and just made them so much more funny. Like she just like added her thing to it. So with that, like Alicia is like my jack of all trades because I call her for everything.
Right.
Can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? Can you like read this for me and see if you can make some cuts somewhere? Can you produce this for me? So like yeah, pretty much. My friend Tenario, who's like, she's already an icon to me and to be honest. She's an independent singer. And her music, what she's doing independently by herself is like, it's ridiculous. She has more hustle than I've ever seen in anybody. Her music is just timeless in my opinion. So even in the short film, thank God I get the privilege to use her music in my stuff. So
Right.
there's different stuff like that. Because Jake, he does music as well. I get to use his music. So to answer that, yeah, clearly. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
because
They all-
I was thinking I might have termed it wrong, but I was thinking like the group theater.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
where
what it is.
They had the
yeah.
actors and the directors,
Yeah.
and Kazan was like the scene guy. He was
Yeah,
building scenes.
exactly. So
Ended up to
it's-
be one of the greatest directors in Hollywood history. He was building scenes, right?
It's back to how important the tribe is. I remember moments of like just going down the line with them. Karen, one of those arrogant things I did, I just said, it was 2 years ago, I just quit my job. I said, I ain't working for nobody else unless it's writing and acting. So I started putting up plays to pay my rent. I didn't have the money to put deposit on it, and Karen would pay for the deposit, and I would just give her the money back. And then even when I was shooting Black Excellence, I was raising money for this film, and I didn't have no money for my rent. I'm like, I can't ask nobody for rent money when I'm already asking for film money. And literally without hesitating, KJ deposited my rent and my thing. She said, you don't need to worry about nothing else but this movie.
Don't
And
make
it's
me
like,
cry.
I almost choked up my
Don't make
damn
me
self.
cry,
Like,
man. Come
like
on,
man,
man.
like it's
Oh.
Javicia, like Tenariel, like I think I needed to make like a trip. It was something that Tenariel just like sent me money for, like just different stuff like that I just wouldn't have. That's what I mean when I say I wouldn't have been able to keep going. Like the moment when I needed the most, Javicia just tell me, she compared me to her ginger plant. Like she always can every time I see her, it's something like I just learn something or like get something from her without her even trying. She's really into plants, and she was like, I was just with my ginger plant today, and like, you really remind me of a ginger plant. I'm like, okay, like what the hell does that mean? And she was like, I was about to throw my ginger plant in the garbage because it was not growing. No matter how much I was watering, it was not growing. And then she said, right before I threw it away, I kind of like did this with the dirt, with the soil, and I realized it was growing under the soil. And she was like, once this place out here realized that you are growing under the soil, and that dust start moving, like you're just gonna take off. Even saying stuff like that in the times where I need to hear it the most is like, it's so important. and I'm like so grateful for it.
Well, that's a testament of you being a good man because you're surrounded
you,
by
man.
good people.
Thank you, thank you.
You know, but some people think that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as an example, you attract people who are of the same example. So when I'm teaching at the school, I'm always saying, it's hard enough out there. I only want people that are going to have each other's back, going to help them with auditions, going to help them. We're all going to rehearse. And that's the way it gets going. Friends telling friends, hey, they got this audition. You know, they might be against you, but it's like, well, you're going to get it if you're supposed to.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You don't know why.
Exactly. Yep.
Between like Playhouse and like finding success, what type of like daily discipline or like what's your regimen as far are you on like a set writing between these hours or
yeah, the writing is kind of all over the place, but I will say one thing, when I was like extremely broke, I like to do the things that I can control. So I kept hearing all these billionaires say they wake up at 5 in the morning. So I said, well, shit, I don't need money to wake up at 5 in the morning. I can wake up at 5.
Yeah.
So I started waking up at 5 in the morning. I always like work out. That helps. And then I don't like looking at a blank screen. So it's like I have half the movie or short film already like kind of written down before I sit down. So I just started carrying around like these cue cards or whatever. And every time I think of an idea, I write it down. That's kind of why I don't like working on two things at once. Because when I'm working on something, like everything that like I do becomes a part of that. Like I just, like you say, you just attract stuff. So I start attracting situations and I'm like, damn, that sounds like the same thing I was just talking about with this or whatever. And then by the time I sit down, I just put the cue cards in order of like, all right, this is dialogue, this is scene, this is a character or whatever. And then I can just go from there. And I can just pick which scene I feel like writing today instead of like sitting down and trying to figure out, like, I don't know where to start or whatever. So yeah, it kind of, that helps out a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let me ask you this. Do you know how long it takes to cook certain food?
Do I cook certain food? Depends on what you're cooking, I guess.
That's an inside joke.
I actually was just putting it inside the air fryer. I wasn't even cooking it. I was not expecting you to pull up right at 11.
I'm different
this morning?
Yeah.
I may be different from other old white dudes, you know.
No, I love it because I'm like, that's why I have all them books in my car. I get so much reading done waiting on people out here. I always show up on time and nobody's ever on time, so I never assume people are going to be on time. And he showed up right at 11. I said, oh, shit. Yeah, so.
Well, cool, man.
Anything you want to promote? Your upcoming plays or your socials?
Yeah, what's my social media name? My Instagram name is King Daryl Wesley. Facebook is just Daryl Wesley. I'm putting up a play.
King Daryl Wesley. Facebook is Daryl Wesley.
Yeah, I'm putting up a play. It's called Shits and Giggles. It's more of a comedy scene night. Whatever the last weekend of September is, and whatever the first weekend of October. So I'm putting up a play then. And my episode of the Upshaws just came out last Wednesday. I did episode 207, so I'm extremely grateful for that. That's my first time being able to write on the sitcom.
Congrats.
Thank you. That was such a great group to work with. And I did The Game is on Paramount Plus. I did episode 5. That was also a great experience. That was my first time seeing my name on TV, which is crazy because I literally say this inside the interviews that my last interview to get the Upshaw job. I told her because Regina and Wanda asked me like, how did I get here? And I made the joke like I still don't know because I failed English 3 times in college. So the fact that I'm writing on TV is crazy. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Okay. Well, cool, man. Again, thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you
It's
for
good,
having me,
it's good
man.
knowing you,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
You come a long way.
Yeah, thank you.
And
We
it's a
all
good
have.
way.
Man, thank you.
You're welcome.